Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so I'll sing Jaya Radha Madhava and we'll start. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva. We'll sing the Mangalasharan praise before we start, and then start for discussion. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnana Anjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Datati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapatakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Tam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sarvanagarita Shri Shapantam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Panchakalpataribhishcha Kripasindhubhya evacha Paditana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Om Vishwapadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Tidamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. We'll say invocation prayer for Srimad Bhagavatam as well. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Ashtapayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhakti Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Shanmatha Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanam Vidantastoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Surastatam. We Krishna devotees, thank you so much for joining. Today is the very auspicious appearance day of Disciplines Day, not wrong, of Jayadev Goswami. Right? So I will be speaking on that particular topic, unfortunately. But yeah, he had wonderful compositions which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu loved hearing and reciting, and it's a very, very high subject matter. He wrote about the intimate pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna. So Mahaprabhu, Acharya devotees mentioned that one should not attempt to read Shri Jayadev Goswami's work or Chandidas or Vidyavati's unless we are highly qualified, right? Because of our others, we may take it the wrong way. And he's such an exalted personality that Krishna personally came to complete his work at a particular verse. Smaragara Khandanam Mashirasi Mandanam Dehi Pada Pallavam Budaram. Basically, when you thought of so Krishna is manifesting all the pastimes, all this wonderful inspiration from his heart, and suddenly he thought Krishna wants to place his head on the lotus feet of Shri Radhika, and he thought, okay, what is part of my thinking? and he just kept the work there and went to take a bath. And Krishna in the time came as him, and again wrote. They say that, oh, no, this is perfect. That I want, please, Krishna doesn't say I want to keep a head on your lotus feet. He said, please decorate my head with your lotus feet. So it's absolutely, it's wonderful. And his Ashtapatis are really, really famous. In fact, there's a pastime of Lord Jagannath, where there's a Devadasi that Jagannath had. I think there's still very few left. Devadasis, basically, they are they only serve the Lord, to marry anything. And she was singing Ashtapadi of Jayadeva Goswami, and Lord Jagannath could not control. He ran to hear that, and one time, it was so that she was hearing all the little morning, and he suddenly realized, okay, the pandas are going to come and open the Mangalati, and they're going to open. And he ran back and from the thorns and bushes. And when he opened the door, they saw Lord Jagannath. All his clothes were torn. He had scratches on him. He said, what is going on? We used to go always to listen to Ashtapadi of the Devadasi. And so it's a tradition right now. They have a cloth written of the Ashtapadi, written with Ashtapadi on it, and they offer it to Lord Jagannath. And Lord Jagannath doesn't sleep, so to say, as for us, without having that wrapped around him. And we had a very good fortune of getting darshan and then touching our head when we got a chance to go to Seattle. His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj had got that cloth which is wrapped around Lord Jagannath with Ashtapadi written on it, and we got to touch that the wonderful cloth of Lord Jagannath. It starts with Arthi Sukh Sare, Gatva Pisare, Manasa, so very beautiful song. So that's Jayadeva Goswami. So today's our discussion would be a continuation of what I did the previous time, and that would be the 4 unique qualities of Krishna. Right. So I will summarize very in brief what we did last time, and then I'll continue. Hopefully, finish it today. So the Krishna's qualities are very attractive. In fact, first thing we talked about last time was it's not just enough to say this material is bad. Okay, that's it, done. I don't want to be in material world. Right? And that's why we go to spiritual world. That's good. That's good. But that is very similar, not very similar. This similar like Mayavadis or imposters say, I don't want everything is bad. This Maya. But so devotees as we don't just like concentrate on bad. Okay, that is there. That develops detachment to the world. Oh, this is a bad place made of stool, pus, urine in this body. It evokes some detachment. Okay, but we want some positive attachment also, not just detachment. Right? Krishna says, "Mai asakta mana partha." Right? Attachment also has to be there. So there's some Harikatha which tells which invokes or manifests detachment, and Harikatha which develops attachment to Krishna as well. And the different ways we can get attached to Krishna, and his name, qualities, pastimes, so many things are there by which we can get attracted to him. And Rukmini Devi is a very wonderful example of just the hearing. She says, Shopa Shuktam Kundasya, Rupa Veera Guna Shriya. Right? So hearing of transcendental powers, character, opulence of Krishna, she got attracted. So different facets of Krishna by which we can get attracted towards Krishna. So we talked about so we are taking one aspect of that, qualities. Right? One aspect of the qualities. And we talked about how qualities in this world, we get attracted to qualities in this world. For example, a person has a wonderful quality of or a talent, speaking multiple languages, or playing violin, or playing this instrument, playing multiple instruments. We get attracted by such a person, or a math genius, or a physics wizard, whatever, right? We get attracted by that. And Krishna says that yajjad bhutimat sattvam srimad urjitam eva tad eva gachatvam mama tejo amsha sambhavam. It's a small spark. Right? And this was the pastime of Prabhupada. Krishna says, if the creation is so beautiful, what about the creator himself? It's the source. Right? So attracted towards Krishna, right? So we talked about the qualities, and we talked about what aspect of those multiple things which can attract to Krishna. We're talking about the qualities, and we talked about what makes us attractive to other people, other qualities as well. And that qualities are a small spark of Krishna's, the source, right? So, and we in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Sri Rupa Goswami talks about categories. Lord Brahma has 50 qualities, in to a great extent. And we as living entities, we're also same as, living entities as Lord Brahma, but we have very limited quantities of those qualities, right? So the 50 qualities of Lord Brahma, and then we talked about next 5 qualities which represent Lord Shiva, 55 qualities. And then we talked about 60 qualities in Lord Vishnu, right? And then there are 4 extra qualities which are only present, unique to Krishna. So, and then we started off with these qualities, 4 qualities. The first 2 qualities we discussed was Rupa Madhuri, or sweetness of his form, and Leela Madhuri, the sweetness of his pastimes, right? So we talked about how beautiful Krishna's form is. So many, the acharyas written verses and verses and verses just describe Krishna's beauty. Shiva Vallabhacharya of the Pushtimarg Sampradaya, right, comes in Urdu Sampradaya, and in thousands and thousands and thousands of verses without a repetition about the beauty of Bhagavatam, right? So how beautiful Krishna's beauty is. Adharam Madhuram Madhuram Madhuram. There's a beautiful song written by Rupa Goswami, Nandanandanashtakam. It just describes Krishna's beauty. Nandanandanashtakam. Just describes Krishna's beauty. So we talked about that. And then we talked about a Mayavadi, Madhusudhan Saraswati. How, he got to go into Vrindavan and he got darshan of Krishna by his mercy. And then he came back and he shared his realization with his disciples. Vamshi Vibhushita Karan Navanita Dhara Navanita Dhabhat Pitambarat Arunabim Faladrushtat Purnena Sundar Mukhad Arvinda Netrat Krishnat Param Kim Abhitatum Aham Bhajami. Oh, Krishna Vamshi Vibhushita, who has a flute in his hand, Karan, Navanita, bluish like a monsoon cloud. Pitambarat, has a blue, yellowish, blue like a lightning, dhoti. Aruna Bimba Faladroshta, lips are like a freshly bimba fruit or early morning and at dawn. And Purne Sundara, Purna Indu Sundara Mukha, the face is like a full moon, spotless moon. Arvinda Netrat has lotus eyes. And Krishna Param Kim Apitatum Hana, and I don't know anything other than Krishna. No higher truth than Krishna. That's his realization. So how captivated that the Mayavadi, right? Got so captivated by Krishna's beauty. And I said 3 other verses from Srimad Bhagavatam at the 10th canto, which talks about Krishna's beauty in a very, very beautiful way, by the gopis, by the Brahman Patnis, right? And then we talked about Leela Madhuri, sweetness of Krishna's pastimes. And Parikshit Maharaj is, just asking, please tell me more. I want to hear more about Krishna's pastimes. He's so attracted to Krishna's pastimes. And they're so sweet. And we talked about how some of the, especially that Damodar pastime, Damodar pastime, we talked about how Krishna is so naughty, so mischievous, and just, pulls tricks out of nowhere. So that's Leela Madhuri, right? And then we cannot expect, there's no way other incarnations can do what Krishna can do. What Krishna can do, other incarnations can do. We cannot, Krishna walking on his floor, on his knees, and making baby noises. We can't expect Narasimhadev and baby Naru. No, that's a Sabhas, right? But so Krishna is called Akhil Rasamrita Murti. It's Rasaraj, Raseshwar, Rasa Bihari, right? So he is the embodiment of Rasa, which has everything in it, right? So Krishna exhibits that in this Vrindavan pastimes. So there's Leela Madhuri. He exhibits sweetness. Anything he says, it's all sweet, right? So now we'll talk about there's a summary till now. They will talk about the next two today. It's Prema Madhuri and Venu Madhuri. So Prema Madhuri means sweetness of associates around him, who are the highest expression of love. It's Prema. It's Prema Madhuri. And Brajavasis, they love Krishna so much that they cannot believe he's God. Right? So I heard a beautiful analogy saying that, when you play harmonium, for example, when you play harmonium, when you start playing harmonium, you have to, you have to play the chords, you have to play the keys, the note properly. You are very, very observant, very, very focused on playing the right note when you start learning. So that knowledge is like jnana, knowing that Krishna is God. You're very conscious, that Krishna is God. You're playing, you're still learning. You're still playing all the particular notes and tunes. But what is the actual purpose of playing the harmonium? Is it to just know what notes you're playing? No, it's to relish the song. Release the piece. For a piano, for a console, it's to relish the piece, not focusing on that. But when you're so practiced, you're practiced enough, so even so you play without even noticing, without with a conscious trying to play the note. Just hand goes, it knows where to go, and you just relish the piece. That is like Vrindavan Brajavasis. Right? So the jnana is, so Aishwarya Gyan is like, knowing this Krishna is God, this, and playing in a very beginner stage. But when you play very nicely, expert at playing, you don't care what note you're playing. Of course, you're playing the right note, but you're conscious about it, and which is relation to the piece. That's Brajavasis. They know Krishna is God, but there's in the background. They're so related into so much that is not in the foreground. It's in the background. They're still playing the right notes though, right? So they can't ever believe that Krishna is God. Sometimes Gopal would come to Mother Yashoda saying that Krishna is Bhagavan. And Vishnu Maya would say that, oh, that's a good proposal, and I reject it. And they would say, what? I said, yes, God is not a joint account. So God is for everyone, right? He's not a joint account. God is for everyone. But he is my personal account, my personal property. He's not God. I don't care. No, he is not Bhagavan. He's my personal property. Mamata. Mama means mine. Mamata. The possessiveness of Krishna. Right? So Krishna gives so many indications, he does so many things, so many activities, which will force someone to think, isn't he God? But no matter what, because of the intense love for Krishna, they can't ever believe that he is God. Right? So, for example, Krishna used to love wrestling. That Krishna loves wrestling with his friends. And one of the best wrestlers in his group is Sri Ram, who is the brother of Srimati Radharani. Now, so Krishna would come and say, who says Sri Ram is the best? He was the best because I was not there. No, since I have come, I am the best. I know no one can beat me. I say, Sri Ram, let's fight. Now let's wrestle. And he said, okay, let's go. And very soon Krishna understands I'm no match for him. And Sridham, they're wrestling, and Sridham just, takes him, on the ground. It's 1, 2, and 3. And he gets up and everyone starts clapping for Sridham. They're very happy. And suddenly Krishna gets up and starts clapping. And Gopal say, why are you clapping? You lost. No, I won. I was like, come on, not again. Why do you think you won? Right? Oh, see, the condition was that those whose nose is up, pointing the sun, that person wins. So what in the world are you talking about? And so you see, I was on the ground, my nose was pointing the sun, and I won. And it's like, come on, that's what they're talking about. That's so absurd. And the friend will ask you, and Krishna would say, wait, you better accept what I say. I'm God. And they would say, what do you say? Come again? We can believe for a second that you won the game, but we cannot ever believe you're God. So Krishna Kaviraj Goswami in the 4th chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita writes, "Tumi bada kaun? Tumi kaun bada log? Ami tumi sham. Tumi kaun? What? You think you are big? We are both the same. Tumi bada log kaun? Tumi ami sham. We are both same." They go in further saying that not only that we are same, we are better than you. Krishna said, how is that you are better than me? So let's talk about statistics. Okay? Nanda Maharaj has 900,000 cows. I have got 11,000 cows. So I'm more powerful. I'm more rich. I'm bigger than you. So Krishna immediately says, but every time you have a problem, you come running towards me, and Krishna, please save me, Krishna, please help me, Krishna, save me, and I kill the demons, I do everything. So you're just so ungrateful. So the friends say Krishna actually has a very, very deep significance to it, very deep secret behind it. See, Nanda Maharaj is a very pious person. He holds your hand and then gives charity. He worships the cows, takes care of the cows. He has a Shaligram Shila, than Vishnu. Right? So when we are in danger, or when you are in danger, Lord Vishnu descends into your body, leaves Vaikuntha, descends into your body, kills the enemy, and then leaves. And then you take undeserved credit for it. And Krishna says, what they're taking, what they're doing. That's how they are. They explain all the sweetness of Krishna associates. So Krishna is trying to prove his godly nature by his presence, by his activities. Right? But Krishna's friends don't go saying that, oh, Krishna's falling fire, he might be God. No, even if they say what they say, Mom, do you know? My best friend Krishna, he might be God. She'll say, my best friend Krishna. Because elsewhere, if you go outside Vrindavan, moment Krishna shows his divinity, that high pedestal of whatever they had, immediately falls into Dasya Bhav. When Arjuna saw universal form, what do you say? Sakheti matva prasabham yuktam, hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Sakheti. So, no janata mahimanam tabedam. So, that friendship just went to Dasya Bhav. Right? So, and Krishna's friends, they used to rebuke demigods. Brahma used to come out, Brahma's offering prayers, they would say, this person looks like he has 4 heads, but I don't think the person has any brains. He has 4 heads, but no brains. Who you offering to this butter thief? Pray, what is this? Right? That is how Krishna's friends, relationship with Krishna's friends. And Lord Brahma in his prayers, in the 14th chapter or 10th canto, is a very beautiful prayers. Aho bhagyam, nanda gopa vrajaukasam, yan mitram paramanandam, purna brahma sanatanam. So how aho bhagyam. No, oh, you're so fortunate. But you see, Brahma says aho bhagyam twice here. So this first aho bhagyam is for Krishna. So Krishna, you are so fortunate that you have such a wonderful, amazing friends associates with you. Right? Everywhere you go, you only get what? Obeisances. Gandha, Dhoopa, Pushpa, Naivedyam, Deep, all these opulent offerings. Only in Vrindavan, you get a rebuking slap. And Aho Bhagyam, second one is for them, that they are so fortunate that they got you. But you are the most fortunate because you got associates like that. That is Prema Madhuri. The sweetness of loving associates around Krishna. There's a beautiful verse again in 10th canto, 46th chapter, very early end of it says when Uddhava goes to Braj. Vande Nand Vrajastrinam Padarenum Apikshnashah Yasyam Harikato Gitam Punati Bhunatrayam. It says, I repeatedly offer my respects to the dust from the feet of the women of Nanda Maharaj's covered village. When these gopis loudly chant the glories of Sri Krishna, vibration purifies the 3 worlds. Right? So that is Prema, the loving supplications, or the sweetness of the devotees of Krishna, associates of Krishna. extremely sweet. They are so much endowed. There's so much intense love for Krishna. Nothing can downgrade, so to say, degrade the love for him. They can never believe they are God. He is God. That is Prema Madhuri, sweetness of Krishna associates. Now we talk about Krishna's fourth and final unique quality. There's Vedu Madhuri, sweetness of Krishna's flute. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, I think this comes in Madhya at the end of near the end of Madhya. It says Krishna's flute is three Jagan Mana Akarshini. Three Jagan means Jagat. Three words. Mana Akarshini. The flute is such an amazing paraphernalia that attracts the three worlds. Or basically the entire universe is attracted by Krishna's flute. Now one may have a question, why does Krishna play flute? Is a reason. So Anand, Kavi Karnapur, it is Anand Vrindavan Champu gives multiple reasons why Krishna plays his flute. Okay, I'm just repeating what I heard, so I repeat that. The first reason, that Krishna's flute is a bundle of contradictions. But Krishna himself is full of contradictions. He's actually the harmonizer of all contradictions. Right? How does Krishna stand? The crooked way. His glance is crooked. His pastimes are crooked. His walking is crooked. Words are crooked. His dham is crooked. Right? If you remember, Ayodhya, full straight highways, perfect intersections. Vrindavan, like this, are crooked. Right? Standing is crooked, three-bending form. Tribhanga Lalita Shyam Sundar, crooked form. Glance, crooked. Pastimes are crooked. Words are crooked. Parokshvadam mama priyam, Krishna says. Right? Words are crooked. Right? So everything about Krishna is crooked. So of course, food is also full of contradictions. Right? So Krishna is full of contradictions. And he asked, so everything about Krishna is crooked, but in Bhagavad Gita, what does Krishna say? You become straight. Right? So Krishna is the harmonizer of all contradictions. So Krishna loves flute because it is full of contradictions. Now, how is it full of contradictions? One thing, first, flute is very hard. Right? Flute is very hard. Right? It's not rubber, it's bamboo. Right? Flute is very hard, but it can make the hard-hearted soft. Contradictions. Flute is extremely hard, but it can make the hard-hearted soft. That's first. Second, flute is hollow. So anything in this world which has this hollow, it doesn't contain, it cannot hold anything. It's hollow. Right? The tree is hollow, it's empty. But the flute is so hollow that it holds all the ragas in the world. Everything sound which emanates Krishna's flute. It holds all the ragas in the world. And the window is hollow. The third is that anything that's broken, right? Anything which has holes or patches, right? Nowadays people buy fully covered jeans, take a knife or something, blade, and they cut it and they put jeans, saying that this is fashion. Right? Nowadays, right? But anything just, if I have my kurta, if I poke a hole in the kurta, I won't wear this and go outside. It's faulty, it's defective. Right? So anything which has holes is considered defective. But the flute has 6 holes, but still completely perfect because Krishna has accepted it. Like Krishna doesn't accept imperfect things, perfect things. The flute is perfect, even though it has 6 holes. The fourth is, so Kavi Karnapur plays on the word parva. So parva has 2 meanings. It can mean trees, and it can mean festivals. Right? So it says the flute comes from parva and is a cause of parva. It's like chicken and egg, right? The fruit comes from parva, but it's a cost of parva. So when it comes from parva, it means it comes from trees. And what is the second meaning of parva? Festivals, and is a cause of festivals. So Kavi Karnapur actually plays on the word parva. Right? The fruit comes from parva and is the cause of parva. There's contradictions. There's contradiction there, right? So that is the fourth reason. And fifth, he again plays on the word Vamsha. Vamsha can mean lineage, right? Or and family, right? Lineage and family. So the flute comes from a high Vamsha. Here, Vamsha for trees would mean a tall bamboo plant, right? Which is very high, a tall bamboo plant. So the flute comes from a very high Vamsha. And on hearing that flute, the gopis lose their Vamsha. Okay? This is another contradiction. And this, when I first have heard about that, the immediately one verse came into my mind was a verse from the Gopi Geet. Patisutan vaya bhatar bandhavan ativilangate ante achyutagata gatividastavo gita mohita kitavayoshita kastajannishi. He says, "Oh dear Achyuta, you know very well why we have come here. Who but a cheater like you would abandon young women, Yoshita, right? Who came to see him in the middle of the night, enchanted by the loud sound of his song of his flute. Just see you, we have completely rejected our husbands, children, ancestors, brothers, and other relatives. They lose their Vamsha by hearing the flute sound, right? And so that is other contradiction. So Kavi Karnapur gives these 5 reasons for how the flute is a bundle of contradictions. Now, these trees, right, just added on information. These trees, they love Krishna so much that, so when Krishna enters Vrindavan, he walks in Vrindavan, the trees purposefully, they put the branches down on the road, blocking Krishna's pathway. Why would the trees do that? Do they want to cause some problems? No. Why do they do that? So they know when Krishna goes along that way, he will hold his branches and lift them up. Right? So when the Krishna holds the branches, the trees think that please let this moment be frozen forever. Krishna has touched me. Right? So they purposefully go down the trees. They take, and Krishna can move them up. Right? And then side themselves and then walk. That is, and why wouldn't Krishna reciprocate the trees? Krishna says, right, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Patram Pushpam Phalam. The trees offer all the 3. Toyam is tears of separation. The trees, because when Krishna goes back home from Vrindavan, they feel so, when will this long night get over? Right? So of course they're offering the devotion, and Krishna, why wouldn't they accept their offering? Right? That is about the first reason. Why does Krishna play the flute? Because the flute is a bundle of contradictions. And we talked about the different reasons why the flute is a bundle of contradictions, according to Anand Vrindavan Champu by Sri Kavi Karnapur. The second reason is to lovingly reciprocate with devotees. Okay. So some acharyas in their Rasika Bhava, they say that Krishna doesn't play the flute. Okay. But Krishna plays. How is that? Krishna just places the flute on his lips, and the flute, because of excitement, starts producing sound. Okay. So in that way, Krishna doesn't play, because then Krishna said, "But I didn't start to playing. Why are you making sound?" Okay. Because excitement, the Krishna plays, keeps the flute on his lips, the flute just starts playing. Right. So the 3 kinds of flute, and basically Venu Geet, some acharyas say, just the flute. Venu Geet means is it the song sung by Krishna through the flute, or is a song of flute itself? There's Venu Geet. You can play words. Right? So about this flute, the 3 kinds of flute is called Venu. This is mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Venu, Murali, and Vamshi. The 3 main categories of flute. And it has many subdivisions in it. In Virendra Madhav, Sri Rupa Goswami mentions that Venu is the smallest, Murli is the bigger one, bigger than the Venu, and Vamshi is the biggest, the longest. It can have 4 holes, 6 holes, 9 holes, 15 holes, because there are subtypes within each of them, right? And some of the names are, they have Sammohini, Mahanandini, Anandini, Akarshini, the different names. And Sri Rupa Goswami mentions there in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Krishna plays based on the purpose. what is the purpose of what is the purpose? Based on that, he changes his flutes. And he mentioned that there are flutes made of gold, pearls. Then when Krishna was 5 years old, he made his first flute out of leaves. He rolled leaves, and then put a hole. Who is making sound or not? The first flute he made when he was 5 years old. So there are different types of flute made for different purposes. That is, and in early morning, to alert or to notify his gopas friends, saying that it's another sunny day. Let's go to Giriraj Govardhan. So Krishna would play the flute and let his friends know. It's time to go. Let's go. Right? In this beautiful verse in Krishna Karnamrit by Narottama Thakur, it says, Kasturi Tilakam Kasturi Tilakam Lalata Patale Vakshasthale Kaustubham Nasagre Nava Mukti Kam Karatale Venum Karakam Karam Sarvange Harichandanam Kalayan Kantecha Muktavali Gopastri Parveshito Vijayate Gopala Chudavali. He says, oh Krishna, you're putting Kasturi Tilak with a red tilak, right? A Kaustubha jewel on your chest, right? A pearl ornament on your nose. Your fingertips are grazed by the flute. Your wrist is ornamented with a bracelet. Oh Shri Hari, your entire body is treated with fragrant Hari Chandanam, with sandalwood paste. This is just the beauty of Krishna, or the description of Krishna given by Shri Bhagwan Thakur. He says, always Krishna, if you put any abstract painting with peacock leaf, peacock feather, and a flute, everyone knows about it's Krishna. That is how integral the flute is part of Krishna. It's a paraphernalia. So in the morning, Krishna plays the flute to reciprocate with his friends, saying that let's go to Giriraj Govardhan. And so in the morning, when Krishna goes in the morning, starts herding the cows, right? And in the afternoon, Krishna is in the forest and to reciprocate with his devotees in the forest. When the bird sings something, Krishna, okay, I see you. Krishna plays flute and reciprocating with the different animals. Right? When the cuckoo sings, right? The Krishna will do the same thing in the flute, and then no response from cuckoo. Cuckoo is silent. Cuckoo thinks, oh Krishna, you give me one talent to sing nicely, and you do better than me. What am I supposed to do now? Right? So Krishna reciprocates with the animals, with the birds singing. We will make the same sound, same note that the animals are making, which is flute. Right? And when Krishna plays the flute, peacocks, they spread their plumes, the feathers, open up, thinking that monsoon is coming. Why? Because the rainfall is already there. Megha Shama, bluish black storm is coming. They think, oh, the rain cloud is coming. Oh, there's lightning also. It's Pitambaradhari. Lightning also there. And thunder is playing the flute. There's cloud, there's lightning, and there's thunder. Oh, the rain is coming. And they open, and during that time, all the animals are stunned, just hearing Krishna's flute. But peacocks, because they have an extremely close relationship with the monsoon clouds, they start dancing. Right? Beautiful, chubby-cheeked, dimple chin, rosy lips, teeth within, eyes are blue, lovely too. Krishna just walks, in front, making a gaja. He's gajagatim. His walking is like the elephant. It's so graceful, right? So Krishna comes playing with his flute, and the peacocks are dancing. Now, and sometimes when he plays the flute, the rocks of Govardhan start melting. Right? He said, mentioned Srimad Bhagavatam as well, when calves and cows hear Krishna's flute, there's a big dilemma. They get a big confusion. The cows are thinking whether we should eat with the mouth or hear through ears. Should we eat grass with our mouth or accept Krishna's flute sound to the ears? They become confused what to do. There's a beautiful verse in the Venugit chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 21st chapter, I think so. Gavascha Krishna Mukhangiragata Venugit Piyusham Udbhita Karna Putei Pivantaya. Is using their upraised ears as vessels. Gavascha Krishna Mukhangiragata Venu. Gavas means the cows. Piyusham, the ring. Karna Udbhita means upraised karna, ears. using their upraised ears as vessels. The cows are drinking the nectar of Krishna's flute flowing from Krishna's mouth. Right? So the cows, their usually ears are like down. Right? When Krishna starts playing the flute, like receivers, they just stand up, taking in everything, listening to Krishna's flute, and it's like Mother Earth, Vrindavan gets goosebump. And what happens? All the grasses are standing. Right? So when the grasses are standing, it becomes actually easier for the cows to eat the grass. Right? But they see the grass and they think, what do I do with the grass? Should I eat it? How should I eat it? They forget. They forget that they have to eat. They forget how to eat. The calves, they're under the udder, trying to drink the milk. I think, I have the milk in my mouth, what to do with the milk? How to solve? They forget the art of swallowing. And they forget swallowing, they don't even suck the milk, they forget art of swallowing. And what happens because of that? Milk starts pouring out from their mouth. Milk overflows. Right? So that's called Shabhas Tutastana Paya Kavalas Patastur Govindam Atmani Dishadishu Kalhas Sparshantaya. When you with the same verse, it says the calves, their mouths full of milk with their mothers from the moist nipples, stand still as they take Govinda within themselves to their heart, tear-filled eyes, and embrace them with their hearts. So the calves have milk in their mouth, but they don't know what to do with it. They're stunned. They're like paint a picture. Milk is flowing from their mouth. That is reciprocating with the animals in the afternoon with the cows. And he also uses a stick, this flute, to smack his friends, especially Vishal. We read this in Nectar of Devotion as well. So this Krishna's a friend called Vishal, and Prabhupada used to take the wish and then smack him, or tap on his right shoulder and Krishna on the left to make a friendly gestures. Right? And the beautiful verse in Srimad Bhagavatam is this: Vama bahu krita vama kapolo valgita bhur adhar arpita venum komalangulibhir ashita margam gopya idareti yatra mukunda. It says Vama kapolo. Vama bhavu means left hand. Vama bhavu krita. Vama kapolo means the cheek. So Krishna places the left cheek on the left hand like this. Right? And valgita bhur. Valgita means bhur means eyebrows. Valgita means moves eyebrows. After doing what? Adhara arpita venum. Adhara means lips. He offers his lips to the flute. After placing the flute on his lips, he is like this and raises eyebrows, moves his eyebrows here and there. Right? So what happens? The demigods, all the demigods are in the sky, waiting, looking at Krishna as he's playing the flute. So demigods come with their wives also. So some of their wives are trying to jump to go to Krishna. They are so agitated by Krishna's flute sound, right? So, and while happening, while Krishna playing the flute, the earth is shaking like earthquake, and Krishna says, look, his eyebrows, say, look down, and the gopas are looking down, and then when the demigods are about to jump, their belts are getting loosened. They're tightening their belts, right, by hearing Krishna's sound, and Krishna says, look up. He moves eyebrows and telling the friends, look up. And the look, all demigods are there, 20 pounds when you jump, right? And then again, look at the side. So he moves his eyebrows to the side, showing that the animals are stunned, right? So that's how he reciprocates, moving his eyebrows. Valgita bhur, adhara arpita venu, right? He does. So the translation of that verse is, the gopi said, when Mukunda vibrates the flute he has placed on his lips, stopping its holes. So he says, Ashrita Margam. He gives shelter to the shelterless holes. That's how beautifully poetic, right? The holes are open up, right? So Krishna gives shelter, placing his flute's fingers on the holes of the flute. It's called Adhara Ashrita Margam. Shelter to the shelterless holes. Now, when he's leaving from Vrindavan, from Vrindavan going to Braj, to his home, he is playing his flute to let the Brajvasis, his mother, oh Maya, I'm coming home. This very beautiful verse in Gopi Gita. He says, Tina parikshaye nira kundale vanaruhanam bibrat avratam ghanarajaspalam darshayan muhur manasinasmaram virayachasi. Is at the end of the day. What happens at the end of the day? Dina parikshaye nila kundale, the bluish hair, bluish black hair. Vanaruhanam, the lotus shade is bibrat avratam, is covered with dust raised by the hooves of the cows. Ghana Rajas Phalam, fully dense, not light, full densely it is packed with the space, with the dust of Braj. Right? So Mother Yashoda would dress him he's so naughty. Mother Yashoda would dress him with very fine clothes. Remember, Kasturi Tilakam Late, with Kasturi Tilakam, with sandalwood, Chandan, everything he will deck up and leave. Krishna, we go. And what did Krishna do? You go there, the mice wet Brajadhuli, take and put on his full face. He'll cover his face with the Braj dust. Right? And when Krishna would come home, of course, no one can recognize him. He's just a ball of dirt, fully Ghana Rajas Phalam, fully ball of dirt. Mother would say, who are you? And Krishna would blink his eyes and smile. Ding, 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 and he smiled. Oh, it's you. Right? So that's how you should understand. The ball of dirt is Krishna. Right? It's a very beautiful verse. I would recite this verse. Is Pankabhishikta Sakala Vayavam Vilokya Damodaram Baditi Kopa Vashad Yashoda Tvam Shukarosi Gata Janmani Putanare It Yukta Sat Vitamukho Batuna Murari. It says, oh killer of Putana, where were you hog in the last life? What dress is this? Were you pig in the last life? And Krishna wonders, my mother recognizes me. Oh Putanare, you were a Shukarosi, tum Shokarosi, Gata Janmani Putanare. Yes, Maya, I was Varahadi in the last life. Right? So Krishna, my Maya recognizes me. Right? Maya is just so that, of course, in the loving affection. And he would tell Krishna so many things. And at night, so we talked about morning, in the afternoon, the evening. Dina pariksha means as the sun starts setting. So we talked about morning, afternoon, evening. At night, what does our Gopinath do? Right? He plays the flute on the Yamuna Tatta, under the Vamshi Vat. Yamuna Tatta Chara, is it? That's all right. So on the banks of the Yamuna, under the Vamshi tree, Vamshi Tatta, okay, attracts the hearts of the gopis, especially Shrimadharani, he plays the flute. So on different times of the day, Krishna plays flute for the different activities, reciprocal with his devotees. There is this. Now, the fourth reason why he plays flute is initiates Lord Brahma and gives him instructions how to create. So, by his flute sound, Krishna initiates Brahma into the heart and saying what you need to do and how you need to create. He initiates Lord Brahma with that. The fifth reason is Krishna would perform concerts for Brajvasis. Like we have bonfires. Krishna would just, all the Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, all the Brajvasis, they sit, and Krishna would just play flute. That's the fifth reason Krishna plays the flute. Okay? So now, I will this extra information, which I loved it. Sri Rupa Goswami mentions the effects of Krishna's playing the flute. So, effects of Krishna playing the flute. What are the effects? Right. So he mentions the effect of each note. Remember, there's only one each note. So what happens when he plays the first note? Sa, re, right? When he plays sa, what happens? Okay, ra, what happens? Re, re, go, what happens? The first note, when he plays the first note, the 6 things which happen. First is Lord Shiva, who's dancing with his dim-dima drum in Kailash, starts feeling so dizzy, he starts dancing offbeat. So Lord Shiva is called Nataraj. He's the best of dancers also. dancing, right? If he plays, he starts offbeat, that means something is really wrong, right? By how? Because just by hearing the first note of Krishna, he starts going offbeat. Second, the four Kumaras sitting in meditation, loses in meditation. It's not ordinary people, right? Sanaka Sanatana Varnita Charite, Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. These four Kumaras lose their concentration or meditation. Concentration or meditation, but meditation. They lose that. The third, Brahma and Brahmaloka is contemplating how to create, how to do this. But when he hears the first note, he forgets who he is and what he's supposed to do. Basically, going back again to the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, who am I? And this time it actually makes sense. I am Brahmasmi. I am Brahma. Okay? So he says, what Brahma becomes bewildered. Who am I? What am I supposed to do? By hearing the first note. The fourth, the best among the Gandharvas, his name is Tumburu. Right? He actually forgets. He's the best singer in the heavenly planets. He forgets to sing just by hearing Krishna's first note. Okay? Fifth one, Anantadeva, who holds all heavy universes, which are heavy, but feels like a mustard seed to him, without any problem. But he starts feeling dizzy and feels like the plants are going to fall off his feet. He feels dizzy just by hearing the first note of Krishna's flute. And the last one, Balramji says, when Krishna plays his flute, Indra falls on Airavat and goes down to the direction where the sound is coming from. And sometimes he cries in happiness and struck in wonder. He's such a wonderful devotee. Shastra shows some aspect of it. There's a reason, but he's not always like that. So Balramji says, he comes out of Airavat, falls on Airavat, and then pays obeisance to the direction where the flute sound is coming from. So all the six are just the effect of Krishna playing first note. Okay. Second note, Yamuna forgets direction in which it's supposed to flow and flows the other way. Right? And flows the other way. That is the effect of second note when Krishna plays Re. Right? Yamuna flows opposite way. The third, it makes a moon forget the direction of his movement and stunts the moon, and the moon doesn't move till the time the note is over. The moon becomes moving around, will get stuck and will not move until that note is finished. That is third note. Sorry, go. The Ma, fourth note is cows go motionless and ears go upward. We talked about, right? The cows, that is the fourth note. The cows go motionless and the ears go upward. So what they do, with the eyes, they see the form of Krishna. With the nose, they nuzzle up. They rub Krishna's body with their face and smell his body, and with the tongue lick his lotus feet. And the mind think of Krishna, and the heart they embrace Krishna. With eyes they see the form of Krishna. They nuzzle up and they lick. They smell his body. The nose, they use the tongue to lick the lotus feet of Krishna. The mind they think about Krishna, and the heart they embrace Krishna. That is the fourth note. The fifth note calls the gopis. It's called Pancham Swar. The fifth note, famous, right? Fifth note, Krishna uses to call the gopis. The sixth note, all seasons come together. So when Krishna enters Vrindavan, Vrindavan forest welcome Krishna with all the 6 seasons in different, in the right proper way to welcome Krishna. Okay, so Vrinda Devi makes sure everything is in proper order when Krishna enters the forest. All the 6 seasons are manifested simultaneously in Vrindavan, in Vrindavan, in forest. When Krishna enters Vrindavan forest. So in 7th note is a continuation of the, so to say, the 6th note, but the 6th note is very specific to autumn, Sharad season. The 7th note, what happens? Vasant, which is spring season, Grishma, which is summer, Sharad also is there, autumn, Varsha, rainy, Hemanta, early winter, and Shishira, dew winter. All the 6 seasons comes in different combinations. When Krishna wants something, we play 7th note, and all seasons will come different combinations to make that atmosphere big. Just like when when we build a house, right? House should have the good flooring, good acoustics, good scale, good railing. Everything should be good when you enter the house. Just like that, Vrindadevi make sure that everything is perfect, in the perfect order, whatever Krishna wants. When he enters the Vrindavan forest. And the eighth note is exclusively meant for Srimati Radharani. There's pastime in which Radharani's lipstick just goes like this, the kajal goes like this, she messes it up, right? Or mascara messes it up. Why? When Krishna plays the eighth note, rather than putting eyeliner, eighth notes just like this, it just go. Like that pastime is with eighth note. It's only exclusively meant for Srimati Radharani, the eighth note of Krishna. So that is the point of there's the Venu Madhuri, the sweetness of Krishna's flute. And please forgive me, I remember a beautiful verse in Bhagavad Gita, comes in the 3rd chapter and very end, it's in the last section. Indriyani pranyahur indriyabhyo paramam mana manasastu parabuddhir yo buddhe paratastu saha. This is the senses are working senses are about all matter. Mind is about the senses, intelligence is about the mind, the soul is about the intelligence. Right? So, what I have tried in whatever way, which I've mentioned in these last two sessions, this tongue is the lowest in the lowest section, and above the tongue is the mind, intelligence about the mind, intelligence about intelligence, soul. Above the soul is super soul, above the soul is Bhagavan, and Krishna, that is Golok Vrindavan, the big humongous gap. So, what can this lowest tongue, how can the lowest discuss the time is the highest? But I just tried repeating what I've heard. And last but not least, I would tell this one thing. Shri Prabhupada says that the flute is so dear to Krishna, when Krishna descends down, whenever he comes, he brings the flute in different forms. So when Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, appeared in this world, the flute appeared as Mridanga. And the sound of the Mridanga, right? The sound of the flute is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So the flute sound is available in a beatback. Right? So we have to take it up. Thank you. Stop here. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Please forgive me for all the things which I made. I'm sure if at all anything good came out of it, inspired by anything, with all the mercy of my Guru Maharaj and Shri Prabhupada. If at all any mistakes came, which I'm sure hundreds of them, please forgive me. You're all very kind, compassionate devotees. Please forgive me. Please do offer corrections. So I'll stop here. Thank you so much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Ganda Shri Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Narottama Vilasa. Thank you, Prabhu, for letting us enter into the world of Vrindavan. How sweetness really supreme. Very nice discussion. A lot of things to. Would anybody like to ask any questions? Okay, so let's appreciate loud Haribol. Haribol. Thank you, Narottama. Can you show temple?
Okay. Yeah.
When I look at it, it looks like a trouble focusing.
Yeah, so for some reason, the Mayapati is very blurry. Okay, it's fine now.
If it doesn't show, just to show that this morning, I guess. So,
Wow. Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Thank you, Suki, and family. I think, is Shivani singing the Nrsingadev Arti?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, or anybody at the home. Nobody signed up. I just want to remind everybody, especially the youth, to see whether if there's openings in the Kirtan schedule, please sign up. even though we're not doing live in person there, we can still do virtually. So Shabani will sing once Prabhu or Mataji comes up to do our thing. Hare Krishna, Shabani. And I think Gopal will do 1 to 1:30 kirtan. Anybody else that wants to do after 1:30. Thank you, Shabani.
Namaste Narashinaya. Namaste